The terms First World and Third World originated during the Cold War as a way to categorize countries based on political alliances and levels of development. The First World referred to capitalist nations aligned with the United States and NATO, while the Third World included countries that were non-aligned or neutral during the Cold War. Over time, these terms shifted to focus more on economic and developmental differences, with First World representing wealthy, industrialized nations and Third World describing poorer, developing nations. The First World refers to countries that are highly developed, with advanced economies, strong infrastructure, and high standards of living. These nations are primarily located in North America, Europe, and parts of East Asia and Oceania. Examples of First World countries include the United States, Germany, Japan, and Australia. First World nations are marked by stable political systems, democratic governance, and significant investments in education, healthcare, and technology. Citizens in these countries typically enjoy long life expectancies, access to quality social services, and high levels of personal wealth. Furthermore, First World nations often dominate global trade, finance, and policy making, giving them considerable influence in international organizations like the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. The Third World describes countries that are less economically developed, facing challenges such as poverty, inadequate infrastructure, and limited access to education and healthcare. These nations are often located in Africa, Latin America, and parts of Asia. Examples include Haiti, Afghanistan, and many countries in Sub-Saharan Africa. However, the Third World is diverse and includes emerging economies such as India and Brazil, which are rapidly industrializing and gaining global influence. Many Third World countries rely on agriculture or natural resource extraction, making their economies vulnerable to global market fluctuations. Political instability, weak institutions, and social inequalities further hinder development in these nations. Despite these challenges, Third World countries are rich in cultural diversity, creativity, and natural resources, highlighting their potential for future growth and transformation. The divide between the First World and the Third World is deeply rooted in historical and systemic factors, particularly colonialism and exploitation. During the colonial period, resources and wealth were extracted from Third World nations to benefit First World countries, leaving colonized nations impoverished and underdeveloped. After gaining independence, many Third World countries faced economic dependency and political instability, which hindered their ability to build strong economies. Modern globalization has further reinforced this divide, with First World nations benefiting disproportionately from global trade and finance systems, while many Third World countries remain trapped in cycles of debt and underdevelopment. The terms First World and Third World have been criticized for being outdated and overly simplistic. Critics argue that these labels reinforce stereotypes, casting Third World nations as permanently poor or underdeveloped and ignoring the progress made by many of these countries. Additionally, the terms fail to account for economic diversity within each category. For example, countries like China and India, traditionally labelled as Third World, are now global economic powerhouses, while pockets of poverty and inequality exist within First World nations. Modern alternatives such as developed and developing countries, or Global North and Global South, aim to provide a more nuanced and accurate understanding of global inequalities.